Today is the day I start my decluttering mission to get my entire house decluttered by April, a date that I declared would be the day I'd get it all done by, and then somehow weeks went by and I didn't even start decluttering. So today is the day. I have been procrastinating all morning. I mean, I've had work calls to do, I've had important stuff to be doing, and I've had other things that I've ultimately been doing because I've been procrastinating. And now I'm hungry, so I'm going to eat something because I definitely need fuel to do this, right? But ultimately, I should have started this hours ago. I haven't yet. But that's the way these things kind of go, because decluttering is the kind of thing that feels overwhelming to do. No one wants to do it. We can always find more important things to be doing with our time, really important things that we need to get done, honestly. But really, it's going to feel so good when it's done. So in this video, you're going to very predictably watch me go through a slightly enthused stage where I very enthusiastically empty things out. And then probably where I feel incredibly overwhelmed and think, oh gosh, what have I done? But I know I had to do all the emptying out, otherwise my ADHD wouldn't let me see the project through. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, by the end of this video, we'll have a lovely, beautiful, decluttered space, one of the spaces in my home. But we're going to start first with assessing the damage. We're going to do a decluttering assessment and figure out which areas of my home need decluttering. I'm going to go through using a page from my upcoming, yet to be completed, but hopefully it's completed by the time you see this, fingers crossed, decluttering workbook, name to be confirmed. And we're going to do this decluttering assessment. So you can just grab a pen and paper and do this, or you can grab the decluttering workbook, which fingers crossed I finished and is available to purchase below. Hope so. Fingers crossed that's happened. So we're going to figure out which area we're going to start with, and then we're going to tackle one of those areas today. Are you excited? I'm excited. I'm hoping you're going to be decluttering along with me. Let me know down in the comments which is the most needy, the most urgent area in your home that you're going to need to declutter, and we'll do it together. Anyway, before we get into that, very, very quickly, because I am just literally procrastinating now, my name's Rhiannon Morgan. Hi, welcome to the channel. This is the first in a series of decluttering videos that I have committed to making, so therefore I'm going to have to do the work. We're going to do it together. Okay, let's get started. So some of these places I have identified as low priority, they need attention but not super desperately, would be this kitchen pantry cupboard, this calyx unit in my office, this calyx in the hall where we store bags, and these drawers in my office. My dressing table drawer also needs a bit of a refresh, but isn't too bad. There are quite a few more moderate priority things that are cluttered. They're manageable at the moment, but starting to get out of control. So that would include the calyx in the playroom with all the toys, these drawers in the kitchen, this calyx unit in the dining room, and this cupboard under the stairs. If we just go out to the hall, this cupboard is in need of pulling out and sorting, but not today. Also in need of sorting, quite big project. We've got Will's, Calyx, Zara's and Bella's. Also some slightly smaller projects would be Bella's desk and Zara's desk. Also Will's desk and Will's wardrobe, I've just realised, perhaps a lower priority but do need doing. But the top priority, the space that is overwhelming me and stressing me out, is the playroom walk-in cupboard. So that's where we're going to start today. I've got my indoor trainers on that have not been outside since they've come out of the washing machine. These are the ones I'm currently using on my walking pad. And I kind of feel like if I'm wearing trainers, at least ones that don't go outside, so I'm not spreading muck all over the house, they're like go shoes, So they're going to make me go faster. Let's just keep telling myself that. And to do our decluttering today, I am going to be using my trusty baskets. I use these for everything, for sorting things room to room, to tidy away, for packing, for laundry is the most usual thing I use them for, just for sorting things into who goes into which room. But I'm going to be using them today just to sort things for recycling, things for going to certain rooms, things for storing, just for sorting and categorizing, from going a big pile of stuff into things to go different places. And I've got to say, one of the most game-changing things I ever did was just buy a load of baskets that actually slot together. I used to, in the last house, have loads of different types of baskets from laundry to toys to all sorts. And when we just chucked them away and just got one type of basket that all slot in, I've probably got 20 of these around the house. But honestly, game changing. And then when they go away, when they're not being used, one pile and done. Game changer, I'm telling you. So this cupboard is at the back of the playroom, which when our eldest is home, he has this back as his bedroom. This is a sofa bed, and then he has it as a bed, and he's at the sitting room in the day. But this big cupboard is supposed to be somewhere where I can store seasonal things. I did a massive declutter of it maybe 2 years ago, and the theory has been it's somewhere where I can store things, like stuff I buy for like decorations coming up to Christmas when it's not time to decorate yet, and Easter eggs coming up to Easter, and all the things. But at the moment, it's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's take a look at how bad it is. Okay, you ready? Oh no. And over this side. Oh no. Oh, I just want to close the door and just walk away and run and hide. I don't want to do this, but it's going to feel so good when it's done. Basically, these boxes, which look, are labelled. I labelled them as seasonal. I can store things in them, like these cool number lights I bought for the children's birthdays and things. So I can access them easily, and so I can hide things. And yeah, before anyone asks, the children are not allowed to open this cupboard. I tell them it's because things may fall on their head, not because there are things in there they're not allowed. I mean, the sad thing is at the moment, things may genuinely fall on their head. We've got all sorts in here. We've got shoes, off-season shoes. We've got bedding. We've got some of Dylan's clothes, which we can't even get at because the poor kid, when he gets home, there's just too much stuff in the way. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to empty this whole thing. I'm going to empty it all into the lounge because I don't feel like there's enough space in here to deal with it. So I'm going to empty it all into the living room, and then I can clean it, and only clean, organised, decluttered stuff is going back in there, and everything else is either going to be donated, it's going to be thrown away and recycled. I only want things in here that I want access to reasonably often. Anything that needs to be stored long term should really just belong in the attic. Oh, good grief. Well, we reached that point of overwhelm in record time, didn't we? Okay, let's look at the positives. I have cleared out that entire cupboard. It is clear and ready to be cleaned, meaning when I finally tackle all this fun and games behind me, then I've got somewhere to put it. So we're going to go through roughly what's going on in here, and then I am going to get on with some cleaning. But maybe this isn't as bad as it looks. Or is it? Honestly, it's not totally as bad as it looks. My seasonal box system has worked pretty well. So I've got a few Easter eggs in there. These 1, 2, 3 and a bit are empty. They're empty boxes, which is what I want from my seasonal stuff, because seasonal boxes are, for gathering things together to pack to go on a trip without having to trip over them, or gathering together Easter things, Christmas decorations, all that stuff ready to use. So I stand by the system. I'm glad I have got 8 boxes marked as seasonal, and I'm glad of that system. The problem was I just couldn't get at them because there was too much junk in the way. So it's not all bad. 3.5 are empty. Some of these don't need much. They can sort of just go straight back in. So that's sleeping bags. That's bedding. That's bedding. Some of this is Dylan's just clothing that like pajamas and stuff. And that's a duvet thing. So yeah, so bedding. In fact, it even says on it, look, it says duvet, plastery, organised that quite well. These things are shoes and boots. They can pretty much just go straight back in. Those are things that I wear, but not much, so they don't live in my main wardrobe. I just go and fetch them on the very rare times I go out, which is not much at all. Same with boots. I need to go through. These are like summery shoes, but I think some of them are to go. This is scarves and leg warmers from back when I was dancing. Although I've got to say that's come full circle because I have started an adult ballet class recently. So I could use those again. Not a good advert for decluttering and getting rid of things because those have been sitting there for 15 years and I haven't used them much, and now I'm saying I'm going to use them again. But still, I stand by the fact I do want to be kind of ruthless and just get rid of stuff that I haven't been using. So I need to go through that. That is a ring light that I don't use anymore, but Will started YouTube now, so I'm going to ask him if he wants that, and if not, that can go. These are boxes of tissues that I buy in bulk from Amazon because we've all got runny noses all the time in this house. I'm not sure what's the matter with us. It's not like we've always got a cold. We just always need tissues in every room, okay? Just let us live our lives. In here, some sort of toys. In here, a bunch of cables that I bet when I go through those, half of those don't even exist anymore. I bet there are the old iPhone 30-pin wires in there that can go in the bin. And so anyway, it is wires, etc. It is sort of organised, but I need to go through it. Over here I've got face masks, for goodness sake. I mean, flipping hope we don't need those again. Need to decide what to do with those. What's in here? Wellies that don't currently fit any of my children, but will fit some of them again. So maybe that's attic kind of stuff then. And then I've got spare Calyx boxes because some of these are looking a bit scabby and we need to sort round. Oh, and then over there we've got suitcases. I need to check what's inside those before I put them back. So a whole ton of stuff that was hanging up. Dry robes will just go back in, but they're kind of in the way. And then there's some coats and things under there I need to sort. Oh, I don't know. I don't really want to start any of this yet. I want to hide, but it's going to feel really good when it's done, isn't it? Let's start with a win, and let's go clean that cupboard so that at least when I start putting stuff back in, it's clean to go in. I know I was only going to do this, but as I move anything around, I may as well vacuum and clean all around here too. And although we're not actually going to declutter this today, I don't think we're going to have time, we may as well clean the floor.
This is Editing Ree here with you, having a little chat in voiceover. I wanted to have a quick chat actually about your preferences for decluttering videos and cleaning videos and things like that. So do you like it where there is music in the background and talking? Do you like it when it's just like voiceover like I'm doing now, where I'm watching myself do stuff and talk to you? Or do you like it where, I don't know, which options have I given you so far? Right, just voiceover, just music, or when I just talk to camera and then in between bits do music without voiceover, or do you like it all music and no voiceover? I'd love to know what you think down in the comments. Now back to talking about what we're actually talking about. I'm shifting that sofa down the end just to get some space about the place. So it's normally situated in front of the TV and then we kind of spin it when we want to pull it out into a sofa bed. But I just need some space in here for sorting and decluttering. I guess I'm sort of procrastinating by cleaning and moving this room around a bit more. I know I need to clean inside that wardrobe, but I am not sorting the rest of this room today. I did not need to really do the rest of the floor and the backs of the rugs and stuff. But if I'm honest with you, I am procrastinating dealing with the big old mess in the lounge. And I feel like I need a win. And cleaning this area and making it feel clean and lovely is a quick win. It's a quick win. So I'm going to wipe down all of these units. So these are just Calyx units. I know I got a lot of Calyx in my house. Don't come for me. It's just really, really good, easy storage. It's inexpensive. It's sturdy. We've repurposed a lot of them. Like this has formed the basis of wardrobes. So we've actually got Calyx in our upstairs wardrobe, but these are facing opposite each other. The ones in the upstairs wardrobes are facing out, if that makes sense. And then we've got bars between them, and that forms our wardrobes. But this was just sort of a really easy way to create this wardrobe with lots of dust, with loads of storage in here. Now, if I can get this cupboard back to how I wanted it, which is a space where I store occasional stuff, as in stuff I don't need to use every single day, but stuff I want to be able to access easier than the stuff in the attic, then that makes me happy, because that is a useful space. That is a useful use of this cupboard. But I've got to say, I found Christmas this year, just getting organised for it, quite stressful, because this cupboard was so stuffed. I was buying stuff, I got decoration things, I had it stored in here temporarily, and oh my goodness, that's embarrassing, look how much stuff there is. But the cupboard was so overflowing, it really stressed me out. Okay, that's enough chit chat. We need to get back to the actual decluttering now.
The cupboard is now clean. Let's get started with some decluttering.
If you're wondering what you're looking at here, it's someone that's totally overwhelmed and doesn't actually know where to start. And I'm going to be honest, I spend quite a lot of decluttering and packing and anything like that, where it's really overwhelming, standing in the middle of the mess going, where do I start? And I always conclude that the answer is just to start somewhere, that there is no actual logical beginning, middle and end to this. You just have to keep moving. So some top tips for keeping motivated when, like me, you have ADHD and all these things seem a bit overwhelming. Number one, if I didn't make this much of a mess, because I get a lot of people asking, like, well, why make such a mess? You find it overwhelming. Well, if I hadn't already made this much of a mess and I was just doing one drawer, one box or something, it would be so easy to just shove it back in and just stop. And I know this because I've done it so many times, okay? I am aware that this is a struggle of mine. So I know by tipping it all out, it's like, can't go over it, can't go under it, oh no, we have to go through it, just like going on a bear hunt. And I know for myself, I would not just shove this back in as it is. I've made enough of an effort. I've like gone far enough through it that there is no going back at this stage. And I know that it's going to feel really great when it's done, but it's still overwhelming. So some other things I do in order to keep me on track is have something fun and entertaining to do or listen to while I am decluttering. So maybe you could put on a video like this one while you're decluttering. I would love it if you'd let me know in the comments, actually. Are you decluttering along with me? I love to think that we're decluttering together and we are helping each other.
I think I need to start separating out some of this stuff now. Detangling what we're doing. So I think if I start moving some of the stuff that is sorted or is empty back into that big cupboard, I can start to see what's left, and perhaps it'll all feel a little bit less overwhelming.
I think I'm at the stage now where it's like I'm needing to move past the can't see the wood for the trees stage. And that room is now clean and tidy. I only want to put clean and tidy stuff back in it, but I can put anything that's kind of done in it and away and out of sight and where it goes. And then I'm kind of only going to be left with the dregs. Now, don't get me wrong, the dregs are the tricky bits. The dregs are the, what do I do with this stuff? Oh no, I hate this. What do I do with it? But at least I can see where I'm at. So let's just move as much of this back into the other room as possible while we go back to our chat we were having. The chat we were having is about entertainment while we declutter. So if you've got an audiobook or something you're really enjoying, you can listen to while you're decluttering. maybe a bank of videos or a TV series or something, and you actually save it as like a treat for while you're doing the hard thing. And this could go for anything. This could go for a certain TV show or YouTube channel or audiobook or whatever that you only watch while you're on the treadmill. So anything that is a bit irritating to do, that is less than fun, that you do not feel motivated to do, pairing that with something fun makes it just incentivizes you. Okay, it incentivizes you. Now we're printing out some labels. This is also something that makes me happy, to label things, and it just helps future me know what is in these boxes without having to go through each of them, and it just it makes your life a little bit easier. Maybe you're the kind of person that can remember what you've put in each box. I'm not that person, sadly. I need labels. Oh my goodness. Oh, so much stuff. Okay, face masks. I don't think we're going to be needing those again, are we? I mean, I hope we're not. That was a tough time. I don't feel like we need to keep them for nostalgia. I feel like that's the kind of thing that needs to be decluttered. One thing you will notice at this stage is I'm not being very methodical. I'm not doing like all the shoes, then all the face masks. I'm kind of flitting between things. But the most important thing is I'm keeping on moving. So methodical, that's the ideal. If you do one set of things and you do all the shoes, then all the face masks. But next best thing, you just keep going. And for me, as long as you've got something, like I say, to keep you entertained, it could just be like phoning a friend. If you have got a friend that you speak to every time you are on your walk, doing your treadmill, doing your steps, cleaning, it's an absolute game changer. And what I find is that like wireless headphones are the answer for me, but I only ever use one at a time. So I have the little inner ear earbuds, and I've had AirPods before, and then eventually all wireless headphones die because they go inside your ears, don't they? And earwax and all sorts of gross stuff just, I don't know, ruins them. Anyway, I recently bought some AirPod dupes. So I guess they're called earbuds, but they came in all sorts of different pretty colours. They were something like £25, which compared to AirPod Pro, which are what, £250? I thought, well, you know, it's worth a go. So I actually think they're really good. They don't do the automatic device switching like AirPods do, but they do the trick. They do the trick, and they allow you to listen to things or have a phone call. And what I do is I just put one AirPod, earbud or whatever in one ear and then not the other ear. I encourage my children as they grow and they're walking around themselves to do the same. So the benefits of only having one ear, not two, then the other one is always charging, so one goes flat, you can switch them. And if you're at home, you can listen out for your children. And if you are walking around the streets, you can listen out for traffic that may run you over or people trying to mug you. I don't know. It's just, I think it's good to be aware of your surroundings. This is something I'd kind of like to teach my children. So going through these wires, did I say I thought we'd have some really out-of-date wires? Yes. Am I finding a whole ton of wires in this wire box that belong to things, devices we don't even own anymore? Yes. I mean, honestly, there are so many different wires in this box that belong to nothing. There's some old hard drives, so these are all going to be recycled. There's old Apple boxes. I don't know why. It's like, oh, look at that. That's an Apple 30-pin, you know, from the old phones and iPods from how many years ago with the 30-pin things? Well, I still have them in my house. They were sorted nicely in a box of wires. They weren't in in the kitchen drawer or anything. But equally, we do not need them. So they're going. Bye-bye. And these little things might seem like little things, like small wins, but the more stuff we can get out of the house, the better. So it doesn't look like we're making much progress, but we are, and we're keeping on moving. We're just keeping going. Let's take all these cases back into the playroom and put these wires away. The wires can go in the box, in the calyx. And we're going to bring all of the cases. Oh, hang on. First, that is an air conditioning unit. We very rarely use it in the UK. Very, very rarely. But I'm sort of reluctant to get rid of it because during the infrequent times that we do have a bit of a heat wave, it's been really, really good. Okay, so the cases. I don't need to do much with them. I just need to check what's inside them, to see if any cases can fit inside of cases. And I think at the moment I've already got small cases inside of big cases. And, you know, that's a good way of storing things, small cases inside of big cases. And there are certain things inside of the cases that are only for travel. Things like neck pillows and stuff live inside the cases. I've got things like the Pirate Night costumes from Disney cruises. They live inside the cases because we're going to need those when we're traveling again. So really, I suppose I could have not bothered bringing the cases down because I haven't done much, but I'm glad I've checked what's in them, because if I hadn't checked, then maybe some stuff could have been rechecked. But a very small amount of sorting was done there. I've now got a box dedicated, look, to tissues. Are you one of these households, by the way, that has to have tissues? And you see I've got like an acrylic tissue box. We've got tissues in every room, okay? I was in my 30s when my sister broke it to me that some people don't have tissues in their house unless they have an actual cold, as in, you know, feel really ill. And the rest of the time they don't have tissues in their houses because they don't have runny noses. And I was like, what? No, hold the phone, like you're making it up. But apparently it's true. Apparently some people's noses don't run all the year round. Is that true? Is that a thing? I was shocked. I was shocked because I always seem to have a runny nose. Sorry if that's too much information, gross. But if I just go from hot to cold to cold to hot, I do. Okay, so we're going to switch the tent and just chuck it over here. For some reason that's not sitting properly. I'm going to put the tent over this end just for a minute and leave the seat down the other end just for the purpose of today. We can switch it back round again, but for now that can go there and the kids can play in it over that end, and we can stick some cushions and things inside. They do love a little tent for cozying up and playing and reading.
Let's take a little look at what we've done in the playroom. Now, I was not intending to leave this sofa chair thing here, and it's not ideal because you can't get into these things, which is a decluttering job for another day. But the children came home from school and said, hey, I love it. Can we leave it like that for a bit? So I've just, for now, we've swapped it around. So for now, that'll do. You can still pull it out. You can just about get to the desk. It's not perfect, but they want it for now, so fine. So I've moved the tent to over here for now. If they do want to watch TV, they could just sit in the tent. You know, not ideal for watching TV from down there, but hey ho. Anyway, this is what we actually want to see, isn't it? The decluttered wardrobe. So check through what's in those and put them back. The dry robes back in there. We've got bedding and stuff for when Dylan's home, and at the top we've got sleeping bags. I have labelled all these so I don't have to go through everything. Some clothes for Dylan, and I'll put another box in there for more of his clothes. I've got off-season accessories, that's like summer stuff at the moment, and then down here I've got like summer shoes that we don't need at the moment. Some bits for my work down there, boots and shoes for me in these. This one needs a label, but it's tissues and toilet roll. All of these are my seasonal boxes. Most are empty, other than that's the ball things to go on the tree. So we fill them up with eggs, Easter, hearts, Valentine's Day, that kind of thing to go on that spidery tree. I have still got all of these frames. This was my intention for Christmas, to buy to have Christmas prints printed and then swap our frames on our floating shelves around for Christmas pictures. Didn't get it done this year, but that's on my to-do list for seasonal photos for the upcoming season, I guess, but definitely by Christmas. These are all the various lights and things. I have started buying the children's letters to make their names on their birthdays. I was a couple of letters short. I needed an R and another letter, so they didn't actually have them for these birthdays, but I'll pick them up for when I see them when they're back in stock. These were all from Georgia Elstar. And then empty is what we like, because these seasonal boxes, I could use these for packing, Easter, Christmas, anything. Or when Dylan's home, you can just put his stuff in there, you know, if he's home for longer. So yeah, I'm really enjoying having empty. Please note, you can see the floor. This was not possible. Well, for ages. I at Christmas time, I physically couldn't open this wardrobe without things landing on my head. I was not even lying to the children. Over this side, there is a bit more stuff. Well, I've actually emptied all the rails. I've still got this air conditioning unit in here that's been slotted back in, and some wrapping paper. So we can access these boxes from either side. The rest of the cases, wires and things here. I've left all these empty because there is a little bit of damp coming in that corner, so my husband's going to do some dehumidifying type situation in the corner. But for now, they're all empty, which is cool. I have got this box frame thing. This is an IKEA thing that I'm going to put somewhere. I haven't decided where yet, but that's just kind of there for now. But look how clear it is. I mean, do we remember what this looked like earlier? Seriously, this was massively stressing me out before. And while I have still got a couple of little bits and pieces left to sort in the lounge, and just basically deciding what's going in the attic. Like, for example, my wedding dress does not need to be in here. I can go in the attic. And then a couple of things for my husband's that he needs to decide what he wants to do with those. But I'm enjoying having this clear. I'm enjoying that. And I am feeling spurred on to declutter some more. Now, apparently, Re of the Future will have finished the decluttering workbook. So this process, next time I do it, will be easier for me and easier for you because you'll be able to grab that and we can do it all together. So I'll put all the details for that below. And if you want to continue decluttering with me, click on the video on screen now for some more decluttering inspiration, or hang out with me inside of my Patreon for printable bonuses, early release videos, chit chat, all that kind of good stuff. Thanks so much for helping me today, and I shall see you in the next one. Mwah. Bye.